Welcome to My Wife Left Me podcast. On this week's episode, Sean and I will be ranking our top 10 favorite horror movies. We've got more spicy news and goofy videos that you won't want to miss. I'm joined by Mr. Vampire Sean.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
You look like an absolute creep. This man's got his Halloween mask on. He's ready to go.
No.
What? What do you have to say for yourself?
This is my true costume. With this ugly mug.
Oi,
Oi,
mug, mate.
You mugging me off, mate.
Move slag out of me,
You
mate.
slagging me off.
Alright. How's it going?
Gaming.
It's gaming.
How's it gaming for you?
It's gaming.
The normal.
Yeah, I mean, not many weeks you don't game. So
True.
That's just the truth.
That's just a fact.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of gaming, did you see Mr. Keemstar's new alert?
No.
So this guy, Delor, he got like permanently banned for doing this on Twitch. Watch this.
Fucking stream sniping fucking bitch, man!
I think I've seen this guy's stuff before. He's like raging.
Yeah, this was on Call of Duty. Jesus.
I've seen stuff of him on Fortnite, and it's just the same. Like, he's just freaking the
raging.
fuck out, dude.
I mean, I get that, like, that's some people's content, but when you go to, like, that far, like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
That was like a keyboard, a headset.
yeah, and the sound it was making too, like when you're watching Twitch, sometimes you're just kind of like doing something else.
Yeah.
Like imagine just like hearing that. Sounds like a fucking earthquake is going on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck, dude?
What is it with gamers that like they're just such little fucking baby ragers?
I don't know. Just that competitive nature. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I mean, you're not that close. I would hope you wouldn't do that.
No, I would never do some shit like that. Mine's just like,
you're the closest to the epic rage gamer.
yeah, I try not to be, but it never fucking works.
All right. It's to be expected.
Mine is just like toxic for the moment, and then like once I'm like out of the match, like I'm over it.
Yeah. You just gotta like let shit go when
Mhm.
shit like bothers you. It
Yeah.
seemed like that guy was getting like stream sniped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he used
Bro,
to.
streamers are like such fucking bitches about that.
Oh, yeah.
Like grow up. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, I mean,
You can't do anything about it.
yeah,
If there's a
exactly.
streamer mode, then use it. If not, like you're just
Just deal with
being
it.
a fucking baby.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
Yeah. So I figured we'd start off with that. But
Gamer rage.
it's now time for our top 10
Oh,
favorite horror movies. It's
I
that
know.
time of month.
I'm scared.
It's October.
Oops.
Do you like October?
It's okay. It's a pretty good month.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
September is like the biggest cuck month. Think
Yeah.
about that. Because like you go from summer and then it's just like fucking September, which literally no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah, it's just like school.
yeah.
And just
And then
fucking shit.
and then you got October, which is spooky Halloween. That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
November, you got Thanksgiving, and then
Right.
December, which is Christmas.
Right.
So it's like September is just a fucking
Just a tease.
an absolute cucklord. The only good thing I think about September is like football season starts, but like
Yeah.
other than that, you're literally back to school. if
Like a
you're in
bunch of
school.
games typically come out like right as school
but they're
gets
fucking
back.
garbage.
Yeah, but it's just like ridiculous.
I mean, the good ones usually come out like October, November.
Yeah.
usually, or the big ones.
Yeah,
not
the big
necessarily good
releases. Yeah.
ones. But yeah, I mean, so spooky.
Epic spook.
Do you like getting spooked?
No. So No, I'm just kidding. I used to not like getting spooked.
Same as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking hated it.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like probably the past couple of years I've like really gotten into it.
In the scary movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a little bit longer for me, but definitely as a kid, like I was very. The two movies that fucked me up as a kid were the 1990 It
Yep, same.
and Signs.
Mine was Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
That one was pretty bad.
maybe we'll talk about that a little later.
Oh no.
Yeah, that I never saw it as a kid, but that would fucking terrify me.
Yeah, exactly.
But Signs, the alien in
Yeah, I
Signs,
know that, yeah.
absolutely made me shit my pants.
That's understandable. Fucking M. Night
We
Shyamalan.
could do a ranking like maybe next week for like the top 5 movies that you saw as a kid that scared the fuck out of you.
Yeah. We could also do one of like top 10, like 5 like fucking mind fucks, because like I feel like a lot of M. Night Shyamalan's movies would be good for like this month as well.
Yeah, true. That could be a little in the future, but for now we'll be talking about our top 10 favorite horror movies. So this is just our favorites, you know.
Our personal opinions.
Yeah, we're not like...
May not have your favorite, but...
Yeah. And some of them are just ones that you enjoy more so than like... Obviously, you probably miss out on some like classics.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But there's so many that you can't really narrow it down
it's
to like...
hard. It's
yeah.
hard.
It was definitely a challenge to like get it all in there, but...
Yeah. Should we start it off, though?
Yeah, so are we doing like the... I guess we'll just
no honorable mentions for now.
Okay.
Just do number 10.
Yeah, all right. So my number 10 was... so I kind of did like a mix, so I said Carrie, but I also said kind of like... I also like Christine in the same vein.
Okay.
So kind of like Stephen King, like novel movies, I kind of like adaptations I feel like are just really strong. I mean, Carrie, obviously, it's a typical like...
So you have it as Carrie and Christine for 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Carrie, you obviously have like the typical like the girl that's like an outcast that gets bullied, and then she somehow has like psychic powers to where she can fucking like break glass and like close doors and shit, and it's like super interesting.
The also thing we should say, pretty much spoilers for every movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like if you haven't seen any of these movies, you know, obviously
we should give like a little synopsis first.
Yeah.
And then like go into like
spoiler territory.
But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she's an outcast and she has psychic powers, and then like this popular guy like asks her to the dance. And there's all these like really like shitty characters, like John Travolta's in it as like a younger person. And yeah, I guess that's kind of like the end before like the spoilers, so it just kind of like
I mean, I feel like most people have probably seen it.
Yeah, I would say this is a
but
pretty,
like if you haven't seen it, skip ahead a little bit.
But yeah, so like they go to the dance, and her mom's like this crazy Catholic like woman in the movie.
Religious.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And she goes to the dance, and then of course like these bullies like plan this thing where like she's gonna get pig blood like poured onto her
wins, like
when she wins,
queen.
prom queen, which she like they rig to make sure that they win. And then like as soon as it happens, like she just fucking just goes absolutely berserk and just like kills like pretty much everyone in that fucking gym.
Yeah.
And then even the bullies that escape that try to hit her with the car just fucking end up getting fucked
yeeted.
anyways.
Yeah, that was a classic scene.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like a great movie. Like so iconic.
I like about that movie how when she does get the pig blood, like she literally doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
But she just like fucking goes off, and it's just like the people are like trapped in there as like a fire's going up, and it's
even
just,
like the woman that was like helping her, like the adult, like she gets fucked too.
She gets killed. Yeah,
and it's like oh shit.
Yeah, it's like something overcame her. Like it was no longer like her.
Yeah, she was like possessed at that point.
Yeah,
it was fucking wild though.
Yeah, I do enjoy some Carrie. My number 10, Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? Yeah. Jeepers. So yeah, Jeepers Creepers. I think honestly that's like of the 2000 like that decade.
Yeah.
I think that's like potentially up there with like potentially the best horror movie from that decade.
Yeah, I mean that movie was scary as shit.
Yeah, the creeper design is fucking amazing. And I just love the you'll see a theme in these movies in my list, but like doing something and creating tension with like, oh shit, somebody's like coming back.
Yeah.
Like when they go in the church and they're like looking through that shit, and then like the creeper comes back.
Yeah.
And like I also like how he's in like his fedora and trench coat at first. Like you don't really see like you know,
like his
what
actual
his
design.
true yeah. But that is like a really good like creature movie where it's just like
it's just super fucking. Again, that was one that I saw as a kid, and I was just like, "What?"
Yeah, if I saw it as a kid, that would absolutely fuck.
Yeah,
my
I was like,
ass.
"What the fuck am I watching?"
Yeah,
yeah.
I I mean, what's his name? The main dude in that. He was good in that.
Fuck.
Justin. He was in Accepted.
Yeah, Justin Long.
Justin Long, yeah. Yeah, he was pretty good in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I just remember from that movie, like, the tension that it builds.
Oh,
is
yeah.
just, like, super good.
No, definitely.
Even 2 is, like, not bad.
Yeah, that was, like, on the
it
bus,
has some
right?
merit. Yeah, the bus.
I remember that.
But the director, I mean, he's a fucking creep. But
yeah, I mean, go figure. Not too surprising.
You have to separate the art from the person.
Yeah, no, true.
In these cases. But, yeah, I mean, definitely check that out. It's the premise is basically these two, like, they're brother and sister, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're like going on like a road trip or whatever out in the middle of nowhere, and like this dude just like rides their ass.
Yeah.
And just like tries and just like fucking on them, and they're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And like they go by this church and they see that guy like putting bodies down like a chute.
You're right.
And they're like, oh shit, like we gotta stop.
Yeah.
And like they stop and it's just fucking goes crazy from there.
Yeah.
And the ending, spoiler obviously, but the ending where you see that like the creeper wanted his eyes.
Yeah.
And like it just pans up to like through his head.
Yeah.
And you just see his eyes are cut out and like the creeper comes up with his eyes.
Yeah.
That was a great like ending to that, but that was super. In the song too.
Yeah.
That like creepy fucking 50s song that we were singing. Jeepers, creepers. Like why was that a song?
I have no idea.
Because it literally says in the song like, where'd you get those peepers?
Yeah, exactly.
And like shit like that.
Fuck knows, dude. It was the 50s. It was a weird time.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, you can do your number 9.
All right. So my number 9, one that you might have, I have The Fly.
Oh.
So, classic Jeff Goldblum movie. I forget when did that come out? That was
it's like 80s. I think I want to say 83.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but I mean, like for the time that the movie was made, like everything that all of the what am I trying
86.
86, yeah.
Like the props.
Yeah, like all of the stuff that's like
yeah.
in the movie is just like super well done for like how long ago it was. Basically, like the plot of the movie is that like Jeff Goldblum's like a scientist and he's like trying to do this experiment where he's mixing two different like objects' DNAs, right?
Well, it's like a transporter.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
So you go
right.
from one pod to the other.
Right. And then so he's trying it out and he ends up like a fly ends up going into the other one.
Yeah.
And they end up like mixing like I think that's what ends up happening. They mix like DNA basically.
Yeah, so like Jeff goes in it because they're like, "Oh, humans shouldn't try it yet," but he's like, "Fuck it."
Right.
And then the fly goes in with him and he goes on the other side like he teleports.
Yeah.
But then he slowly like starts to become like flyish and ghoulish.
Yeah, and like just the design and like the way that the story progresses, like it's just like crazy to see like how like absolutely disgusting he looks like towards the end.
Yeah,
like
it's
just,
very.
It's so surreal, and then his wife ends up like fucking like killing him with a shotgun. It's like so fucking like.
Well, it gets sad because at the end, spoiler, but like he's just like, "Kill me."
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
just
exactly.
kill me.
Yeah, he's just like fucking put me out of my misery.
She fucks him too. Remember? Yeah, she fucks him while he's fly form.
Yeah,
and he just absolutely blows his fly nut up her. Like honestly,
so hot.
But
yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a great movie. It's a pretty. I feel like it's more of a cult movie. I don't think it's as widely known.
Lesser, yeah.
But
I think people are too grossed out to see it.
Yeah,
and, like, really enjoy it.
That's fair. I mean, I can definitely.
And the
understand
director,
that.
like David Cronenberg, he's like known for kind of his gory special effects, like Scanners. He was like the first one to have like a head explode, like looking pretty. I don't know, it's like real.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I approve of that. I do like The Fly quite a bit.
Epic.
Anything else you have to say on that?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so my number 9, I don't know if you've seen this.
Okay.
So it's John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
I've heard of it. I don't know if I actually have seen it, though.
Okay. So I won't spoil.
Okay.
But this movie, so Carpenter has like 3 movies which are like his apocalypse trilogy.
Right.
Definitely got to see all of them. Must see. Every single fucking one. So it's The Thing, it's Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness.
Okay.
All of them are fucking amazing. Maybe one of my favorite trilogies.
Really?
Like they're not like directly connected, but like
right. But they're all
it's
just
like
really
his,
good.
Yeah, his apocalypse trilogy. But so Prince of Darkness is they're at this church, and so these like I guess these scientists or something get called into the church because they're like, hey, we have this like matter
Right.
in the basement. It's like super weird. It's like green, and so they're studying it.
Yeah.
And they're like seeing what the fuck is up with it because they don't know.
Yeah.
And they start getting these like messages on the computer, like, fuck, I forget what it was. I'll look it up here. But they start like getting these like weird messages from it, like on the screen and everything, and like people start. It's like messages from the future.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So here's like one of the messages they got. You will not be saved by the Holy Ghost. You will not be saved by the god plutonium. In fact, you will not be saved. And there's just like all this shit. In fact, you will not be saved. Just that, like, just nonstop.
Damn.
And just like a whole bunch of like creepy shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so, like, as it progresses, I'm trying not to like spoil
Yeah.
it, but it is.
I
Like,
mean, you can if you really want to. Like, I
Nah.
probably won't remember.
Nah, it's fine because yes, it's good when you don't know what's
Okay.
going on. But basically, like weird shit starts to happen to people,
Right.
And from it's just like a really good like sci-fi horror where you like don't know what the fuck's going on,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
nothing is ever really fully explained, but you like
Right.
see, and like this one woman keeps having these dreams where it's almost like a found footage shot, like
Oh,
maybe
really?
like one of the first. And it's like VHS quality, and you see like this like dark figure, presuming like it's the devil,
Right.
the Prince of Darkness.
Right,
And you
yeah.
keep like seeing more and more of that shot in that dream, like
Oh.
as you go.
Damn.
And like it's very creepy because it's just a whole bunch of like these weird fucking messages that they get, and I'm trying to find this one message that was sent. It was just super fucking crazy. But yeah.
Oh no.
What, are you scared?
I'm so scared. No, I mean, it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I would say I've definitely heard of it before.
Mm-hmm. It's very very good. I would recommend checking that out.
Yes, indeed.
But yes, you can go ahead with your number 9.
Okay. Or my number 8.
Are you on 8 now?
Yeah, we're on 8.
Okay.
Indeed. So my number 8 was Evil Dead. So
Which one?
the original.
Okay.
Sam Raimi.
Because Evil Dead, there's the remake one too. Which
Yeah. No, the
is
original.
pretty dope.
Yeah. That's more so just, you like when I bump knee?
I like.
It's more so just because of like how big of an influence that movie had on like the rest of that genre. I feel like like with how low of a budget that movie was made with, and just like how well it turned out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously, like it's been done a lot. You know, I mean, well, like the movies in general. So like, I feel like most people know by this point, it's just like a cabin movie where it's like they have these they have this book that's called
The Necronomicon.
Yeah, the Necronomicon, and then they have the what are they called? Deadites.
Yeah, the Deadites.
Yeah, which are like these like zombie creatures that
supernatural type thing.
Yeah.
That like when the book gets like opened and read, that they get like summoned.
Right. And like basically like they like each one gets taken over, like spoilers, I guess. But each one gets taken over like one by one basically until it gets down to Ash, which is like this like the main. He's not really even a main character in the movie. I feel like he's more so just kind of like a supporting character.
Yeah, not in the beginning. He's not. Like
yeah,
the
exactly.
main,
Like he's pretty like quiet, and he ends up becoming like the protagonist and like the main character that like you're rooting for.
Yeah.
And that's where like the iconic movie with like the chainsaw and the fucking shotgun and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like a classic like gore, like fucking kind of like campy, like, you know, horror movie.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes from that is when they trap one of the chicks like down in the cellar.
Yeah.
And like she like opens up the fucking hatch and is like singing a song. Or
Yeah.
Hey, like hello, come get it. Like,
Yeah.
Just like that was so fucking creepy.
Yeah, I know. And of course like the infamous like the tree scene is always a fucking
the rape scene, the tree rape.
Yeah, that was very
that was a thing.
Yeah, that was something. Which they did in the remake too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like how Evil Dead, like especially with the trilogy, where the first one's pretty much only horror, second one's a horror comedy,
Yeah.
third one's like an action horror, like Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're all like their own separate thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all I have to
very
say about
good,
that.
very
Indeed.
good. My number 8. Also, we should mention if we have the same ones on our list, we have to take a shot.
Yes.
So far, we're good.
Right.
We'll see how long that
Yeah, I was
lasts.
going to say, yeah.
My number 8 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 1973
Interesting.
Tobe Hooper
Interesting.
one, or Hopper. I think it's Hooper.
Yeah, I think it's Hooper.
Yeah, the GOAT. He also did Salem's Lot, R.I.P. That's one of those movies where before I saw it, I was under the impression of like super gory, and I've never been big into like super gory slasher movies.
Same.
And I was like, oh, it's gonna be super gory. Like, I don't know.
Right.
And then I watch it, and it's like so grimy and like grungy.
Yeah.
Where like it feels very real, and
The filming is just very visceral.
yeah, that's a good word to describe it.
Yeah.
Um,
It feels like you're there.
and it another thing too, which I never knew going in, but like it's also a cult movie too.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in the beginning when they come across the hitchhiker and he like cuts himself, and then he marks their
the
van.
thing, it's a cult, yeah.
Yeah, and he like some like cult symbol, and they never go into like the cult thing like at all, which is, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then they like come across this house,
Yeah.
and like they go in. Obviously, spoilers here. But
I think it was like a Manson symbol, actually. Like the
Oh,
blood
really?
thing, I think, yeah.
oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Manson family. I'll have to look into that. But,
Yeah.
and like inside, they're looking through the house, and like there are like these weird like relics and
Yeah,
stuff.
there's,
that's,
like,
all
bones and shit,
bones,
like,
shit,
yeah.
all this crazy stuff in the house, like cult kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite, or I think the standout. There's multiple standout scenes in the movie, but like one of them was definitely like the first fucking kill.
Yeah.
Where
When
the
he-
dude, yeah, this is so gnarly.
yeah.
The dude is like just in the fucking place.
He's
and,
trespassing.
yeah, and like the main dude.
The girl
What's
goes
his-
in first,
Yeah, and she's fine.
and she's fine, and she's exploring downstairs, and he goes in after her because it's
Yeah.
been a while.
And he,
He walks up to the door,
Yeah, the
and
door.
he like trips.
yeah. Well, what's the main Leatherface?
Leatherface.
Yeah, so Leatherface comes out, just opens the door, fucking has his hammer, bashes his head with a hammer.
Yeah.
And this is like the first movie to like show, I guess, a realistic representation of like what,
Yeah.
getting hit in the head. Because before it's like you get hit in the head, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's very, like the
And it also like
creepiest thing.
zooms in like right on his fucking face, like right as he comes out too.
Yeah, well, the craziest thing too, or the creepiest, was like when he gets hit in the head, he just starts like convulsing.
Yeah, he's like
And he's
seizing on the
just
ground.
seizing
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
As like Leatherface is just dragging him back, and he's just seizing. Like that was just like absolutely terrifying.
And then the door slam.
yeah, he just fucking slams the door, and he's just gone.
Yeah.
That was definitely like a memorable scene from that, like one that definitely stuck out to me. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was super, like you were saying, visceral. Very for its time, it was probably the most like intense, and people thought it was more gory than what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
And the director, I remember reading about it, how he it was like intentional, where he wanted the audience to like think of the gore on their own instead of really showing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And because the stigma around it is, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, very gory. Well, the first one really isn't gory at all.
Yeah, exactly. There's like no blood. There's like a little bit like with Franklin, but that's about it.
Yeah. And so there's chases and whatnot, but
Yeah.
another, like, the other standout is so it comes down to the final girl in the dinner scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely fucking amazing. I think it was
With
like
the 100-year-old grandfather.
Yeah, the grandfather. And like you don't know that he's alive.
Alive, yeah. You just assume he's dead.
But
and
he's
he
just
starts
like the
moving
creepiest
around,
looking
like,
fucking thing. And then once they start eating, because they're eating people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you realize, oh shit, he's like alive.
Yeah.
But he just looks like so decrepit and creepy looking. And she's just, I remember from like the end, you're just like fucking on your toes nonstop because she's just screaming, and it's just like zoom in of her face, and it's just like,
And I know that
very
filming
terrifying.
process was like terrible too.
Yeah, I remember reading about that too, where like it was literally fucking hell.
It was hot as shit.
Yeah, and
had
they're
to
filming in Texas.
Yeah, I know a couple of them were like got sick because of just
Yeah.
like how awful the conditions were.
Yeah, no, there is a documentary on that, which
Yeah.
I need to watch at some point.
I'm pretty sure, like, as well, that I heard that, like, Franklin was just, like, he just stayed in character the whole movie, so he was just, like, a whiny fuck, like, the entire filming process.
Really?
Yeah.
Franklin, the
guy in the wheelchair.
disabled guy.
Yeah.
He was annoying as fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
So he was like, yeah, I didn't think I would be able to be, like, put him away, so I just kept him out the whole time.
Jesus. Yeah, the other thing too about that movie was when like you think she gets away, and she like runs across that guy.
Yeah, the random dude with the
random
18-wheeler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And she just comes across the realization like, maybe I'm fucked. Like,
Yeah.
I think she like looked at like a pretzel thing and like saw like meat cooking or something. And was like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 8.
Mm,
Check it out.
indeed. So my number 7 was The Witch, 2016.
Yes.
So this one's more of like a supernatural, I guess. But it's
religious horror.
right, more of like something that would be around the time of like the Salem and like the witches and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was during like the witch trials, I guess.
Yeah, because like
Very early English.
right, they're like more like pilgrims.
Yeah.
I feel like, and so it starts out with this family and they're getting outcasted from their community for I don't remember exactly why. It was just like
I think it was like religious reasons.
yeah, it was
I
like
think.
differences, right, between
Yeah.
like yeah. And
So they like go out on their own.
right,
It's
so they
kinda-
go out on their own and they have this whole farm, and it's like, so it's a father, a mother, a daughter, a son, and then a youngest son and a youngest daughter. So it's, yeah, 2 of each.
and a baby.
Right, yeah, and a baby.
Very
And-
important.
Yeah, true. And so they're just trying to make it out on their own, and you know, they have like a bunch of weird shit that starts happening around their fucking their new farm that they've made. And it starts, I think it starts with the baby, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so no so spoilers going forward. So this baby, they're like, it's the main older girl that's watching the baby,
Anya.
and they're
Anya
out in
Taylor-Joy.
like, she's out in this field with the baby, and she like looks away for like a second, and then all of a sudden
she's doing like peekaboo.
yeah, and then she's doing peekaboo, and then she does it, and then the baby's just gone.
Just absolutely gone.
And then, of course, she's freaking out, and
Yeah.
she, you know, she's looking, can't find him,
Mhm.
and then it cuts, and I think it's pretty soon after that, right, where it shows what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
She,
there is like a night shot where it shows like the witch. Like,
yeah. So like the entire movie, they're getting like basically like fucked with by this witch. It's like this mythical
yeah.
like creature. Like I don't even know how to
Yeah.
really describe it.
But like the other thing too is like the family doesn't necessarily, because they're super religious and they think that, you know,
Right.
praying and whatnot will like get rid of it. Like, oh, there's no way.
It's
a
just like
witch
they have
will
a bad omen on
Yeah.
them.
But like they're very, like they still believe in.
They're
like,
very
the religion.
traditional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they think like God will help them out.
Right.
But like it is paranoia because they think that Anya Taylor-Joy's character is the witch.
Right. They think that
And
she,
like
yeah.
the children start like
Like-
calling her a witch and whatnot.
Yeah, and they have like this black goat that's called what
Black
is it? Philip, Black
yeah.
Philip, yeah. But yeah, so like then there's another thing that happens with like the older son where he gets like lured into where the witch's like places because of like lust.
Yeah,
I guess that's
she,
sort of
she
like
was
the-
hot when they showed like the hot version of the
Yeah.
witch. Like,
And then it's
yeah,
just
the
like
son gets lured in,
and then he comes back and he's just like
absolutely fucked.
yeah, and he's like naked
that was
in
a
the
crazy
rain.
scene.
Yeah.
And he's just like absolutely freaking out.
Yeah, and he's like chanting all this fucking like yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm free, and then he just like dies.
Yeah.
Like, that was a crazy scene.
Oh my god, that's like that movie is just so fucking wild. Like everything that happens in that movie is just like insane. Like the scene when like they're in like the chicken coop or the sheep coop,
Yeah,
and it's like it's just like the kids and Anya,
Mhm.
and the witch is just in the corner, just like eating the fucking
Yeah.
thing, and you're just like,
The
oh
goat.
shit,
yeah,
yeah,
Oh fuck, shit's going down.
yeah. And then of course like you know, everyone ends up getting killed besides
Anya's
Anya's character, which she ends up making like a pact
Well,
with.
so everybody gets killed, and then like I remember so clearly when this happened.
Yeah.
But like, so she just like goes into like this area with the goat because you figure out the goat is like
Yeah, she like talks.
devil.
Yeah, she talks to the goat as like
Yeah.
and he like starts talking to her like as like in English.
Yeah. But you never see his face. It's on her.
Yeah,
And,
whenever
like,
he's talking.
The
yeah.
devil just starts like whispering. And I
Yeah.
remember watching it on my computer. And the first time when that happened, I was so creeped out.
Oh
because,
my
like,
God,
with
dude,
headphones, and you just hear the hello.
Yeah. It's like the one scene from Mandy when the dude is just like talking
When he's tripping out.
Yeah,
Or when-
yeah.
No, that was super creepy.
Yeah, like
Um,
anything like that where it's just like close talking just right in your ear.
Yeah. Just fucks with you.
But yeah, and then she just starts
So she's like given it at this point. Her entire family's dead, so she's like whatever.
Yeah.
She was never a witch in the first place.
But now she's
But
becoming one.
yeah, but all this shit like turned her into one. And at
Yeah.
the end, you know, she's like naked and she just starts like floating.
Yeah, she just
And
starts
it's just,
saying,
like-
she's just laughing.
It's just a shot of her face and it's just like pure ecstasy.
And it's just no like audio either. It's just like her just laughing. It's just like her. It's just music that's getting louder and louder.
Yeah. The other thing about that movie is the music is amazing.
Oh yeah, and
Like,
same with like the
incredible.
cinematography is just really good as well.
Robert Eggers is a director, and The Lighthouse comes out this month, which is his follow up,
Right,
and that's getting good hype.
that's good.
But yes,
But yeah, The Witch,
The Witch is sick.
very very good movie. Recommend it.
My number 7 is Rosemary's Baby.
Classic.
Have you seen it?
Mhm.
Yeah, so Rosemary's Baby, it's basically a wife and a husband start to get freaky, and they want a baby.
Yes,
And
they
so,
get their wish.
yes, they fuck. And, like, she has, like, these visions, like, the night of, like, the impregnation
Mm-hmm.
of, like, all this crazy shit going on. Of, like,
Yeah,
of, like, people, like, standing around and, like, a devil-looking thing.
yeah,
And, like, she's like, what the fuck? So, like, the whole movie, I like paranoia movies where, like,
yeah.
you
can,
don't
like, never
know if
what's going
you don't
on.
know if it's real, like what. Yeah, you don't know what's going on. You don't know if it actually happened. You don't know if she was dreaming it.
Right.
So she starts freaking out, and like these neighbors across the hall like start coming to her and like,
Yeah.
here, drink this special shake. It's good for fertility and all that
Right.
stuff. And then you start to question that, and you're like,
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck
what's
is
going?
this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know if that's right. And she starts questioning, like, I don't know if I should be drinking it. It's basically like back and forth,
Right.
the entire time.
Yeah.
And like the doctor scene, that was amazing. When you finally, spoiler, but like you finally think she gets away.
Yeah. No.
And she goes to the doctor. Then next thing you know, the doctor's like calling in the husband. And it's just like absolute insanity. It's like,
yeah. That movie is fucking wild.
yeah, it's very wild.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when she has the baby,
Mm-hmm.
and like you do see it was like a cult thing. where,
Yeah.
like,
The entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, and she like pretty much gave birth to like Satan.
Right. Yeah. I was about to say like the end reveal is so fucked. Dude.
Yeah.
You're like,
and
oh
she's
my
like,
God.
well, maybe I will take care of it. And it just kind of,
Yeah. It's just kind of like ends. You're just like, well,
Yeah.
I don't know how to
shit.
feel about that.
I guess they're raising the devil.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
Um,
Cool.
Yeah, that's one of those movies where like just the buildup of it and like the tension of just getting to the climax is like absolutely like nail biting.
Yeah.
It was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Right. Yeah. You're like, what is it actually going to be?
yeah, like that's very, very classic movie. I think that was the 70s too. So
yeah.
like,
That was an older one for sure. Rosemary's Baby is pretty old.
Yeah. Quite dank.
Indeed. Quite dank.
Number 6.
So yes, my number 6, Friday the 13th, Part 4.
Interesting.
Yes,
I don't know if I've seen that, honestly.
Part 4 is that's probably like when I think of like classic like Friday the 13th, like that's like that and probably Part 7 are probably like my favorites in terms of like older Friday the 13th. But 4 is just so classic just because it's like you have the entire like recipe for good Friday the 13th movies, which is camp counselors in a camp in the fucking camp to begin with. Crystal Lake, and you have Jason,
All you need.
that's all you need. And
what else is there to it?
Yeah. And of course, and you have Marty McFly's dad is in the movie,
Okay.
and he's like a teenager. And so like the whole movie, like his character's just like trying to fuck and like,
As it is with like every one of the
yeah,
slasher
right,
teen
exactly.
camp
And in
movies.
that movie, there's these twin girls that like show up to like this place in Crystal Lake, and he's just like, there's this dance scene that's just so iconic where he's just doing all these like ridiculous like looking dance moves. Like I'll have to show you after we're done, but it's just like so funny and so like iconic. And it's just like the kills are just super well done in that movie. There's a really interesting character. I can't remember his name. I can't remember the actor, but there's like there's a family that's there as well at Crystal Lake, and they're like there, and then they have the camp counselors that are also there, and so, they have like a whole separate side plot with that, with like their characters, and they're all like super interesting. That's the other thing, is like the characters are just super well done in the movie in general.
Yeah.
Which, like, as you see later down the road with Friday the 13th, they just get shittier and shittier. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just another, just like, I think it's definitely like one of the most solid like Friday the 13th movies for sure.
I'll have to check that out.
Definitely recommend.
But yeah, I mean, the Friday the 13th are interesting. Like, obviously, the first one where.
Yeah, the first one I feel like is more of like a slow burn.
A precursor.
Yeah, because like it takes a little bit, and like a lot of the shots are a lot more like drawn out, but I definitely like the movie.
Usually I hear like part 2 is usually the favorite.
Yeah, because that's the first one with Jason, so everyone like definitely.
Prominently Jason.
But he has that dumb fucking sack on his head for
the
fucking like first half of the movie.
I do like how in part 1 though, where like the end and he just like comes out of the water. And you're like, oh shit! Like if you didn't know it was like Jason was in it, you're like, oh fuck! Like what? Who's that?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
But indeed, is that all you have to say?
Yeah. No, I don't have anything else.
All right, my number 6 is Alien.
Very interesting.
Great atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, probably like maybe one of the like best horror atmospheres because you're stranded in space.
It's tense as fuck. You're tense as shit.
Tense
like
as fuck.
The whole movie.
The whole time your asshole's just fucking puckered.
And it's great too because the beginning, it's just like you get such a good introduction to like the characters, and there's a lot more emphasis on like
the character
cool. development.
Yeah,
because it's like the first hour.
It's not overdone. Where like because I mean they do like go on the planet and like the face huggers.
Exactly.
Face huggers are like one of the creepiest creatures in horror, I think.
Yeah.
Because like you just got this fucking thing on your face, and it's just absolutely just coming down your throat and just planting an alien.
You don't like that?
No, couldn't be me.
But yeah, I mean, like again, like the first hour is just like pure character development. It's just focusing on like, focusing on Sigourney Weaver, focusing on fucking Dallas, you know what I mean? Like focusing on all the important characters.
Well, there's also like good, decent lore building in that. Area part.
And obviously, of course, like the fucking breakfast scene.
Yeah, I mean that's after they get back from the planet and like the guy like they think he's, so the face hugger was on him.
Yeah,
and they get it off and he's fine.
Yeah,
I love how quick that happens too because they're like literally the next scene after he gets it off, it's the eating scene.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just starts like freaking out, and obviously
and then of course the alien jumps out of his chest. Yeah,
and you're just like, oh fuck! Well, now there's an alien on this ship, and we have absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah,
I mean. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver is great in it.
Yeah, of course.
She's like an iconic, hero in horror. But yeah, the tension, the creature, the alien, the face huggers are amazing.
Yeah,
just super tense and like such a good like atmospheric movie to like watch and just kind of get like lost in. But,
and good characters as well.
Yeah,
in
like
general,
Dallas
like all of them are like pretty good in that movie. Honestly,
agreed. Alien Isolation is also a dope game. Check that out.
Indeed. And Aliens 2 is a great movie as well.
Yeah, Aliens.
Or Aliens, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anything
now
else?
we're getting into top 5.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So number 5, The Shining.
Okay. I thought you were giving me that smirk. I thought we were going to take a shot. Interesting how we haven't, up until this point, we're
I know. I'm a little
I
scared.
feel like the last like top 5, we're just going to be like throwing it back.
Yeah, no, for a real one.
Yeah.
So yeah, The Shining. So,
what can you say?
Absolute classic.
Yeah.
If you like Jack Nicholson and you haven't seen this movie, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah.
This is just such a... I forget when this movie came out. It was, I think it was 70s, right? Don't mind looking that up
or
for me.
early 80s.
Yeah. But, I mean, just like everything about this movie, I mean...
1980.
1980, okay. But the main thing with this movie, I feel like for me personally, is just how good... like all of the cinematography is. I mean, like all of the shots in the movie are just super like extravagant.
For like at the time for a horror movie, it was very well made.
Yeah, and like the opening shot where they're
everything
driving and it's
Yeah.
just this fucking expanse and all
The
you
drone
know-
cam, the
Yeah.
music, the
Yeah.
doo.
Yeah. And then when they get to the hotel and like they're describing like his job as like caretaker of the hotel. And so like the whole plot of the movie is that Jack Nicholson's character is getting assigned to this hotel in where exactly was it? I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was like up north because they got like bad winters.
Yeah,
like,
and they
he
had,
was
like-
supposed to watch it over the winter when like nobody was out of service.
Right. And so he took his whole family with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were just in this hotel for like 6 months or something like that. It was a pretty decent amount of time. And pretty much the movie goes in depth about Jack Nicholson's character, Johnny.
He's a writer.
Or what is his name?
Jack.
Jack. Yeah, I think it is Jack, isn't it?
Is it? Oh,
Were we fake fans? Fuck, dude. I can't remember off the top of my head,
It's
honestly.
not Johnny because Johnny was like his
That was the character, wasn't it?
Jack. It is Jack.
Yeah, it is Jack. Okay.
Jack Torrance.
Right. Yeah.
And Wendy.
So
his
it's
wife,
basically-
Danny the kid.
Yeah. So basically, the whole movie devolves into Jack losing his insanity or losing his sanity.
Yeah.
The more he's at the hotel.
Yeah.
And like,
have you read the book?
no, I've never read the book
Okay,
actually.
Yeah, I've read the book.
What do you like
Quite.
the book more?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, they work well on their own,
Yeah, they're good on there.
but like
yeah.
it does go deeper in like his kind of descent. But I do like in The Shining, like just seeing him like start to like
yeah,
his temper starts
right.
to like go
yeah, he's
up
very
and, like,
short.
You see him
Yeah.
just like staring out the window. That's like another classic. But like they just let like Jack Nicholson just like go.
Yeah, I mean he's
Absolute
he's just a
ham.
good enough actor where he's just like we'll just let him do what he wants.
Yeah, he's like Jim Carrey and like where you just let him go fucking
Yeah.
bonkers.
But and it's interesting too to see like throughout the film like what Jack Nicholson's son gets into.
Well, yeah, I guess we should mention like his son has like some sort of supernatural powers, and they call it like The Shining.
Which he discovers through the cook, right?
Well, the cook says he has it too, and
Right.
They like relate with that.
Right. So he like discovers that he has the ability.
Yeah,
He's like, "Oh yeah, you've been doing it a while now."
yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, I'll save my takes because it's obviously on mine too.
Right,
so
yeah.
You can give your takes now.
No, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, and so like there's different scenes where like it has the son like going around in his tricycle, and it's just these great shots where it's just like these POV just behind
like
him.
one shots.
And like you're seeing him turn down the hall like exactly the same
Yeah,
as
you don't
he's
know
seeing
what-
it. So
yeah,
you
you
don't
don't
know
know
what's going to be
what's-
down there, which is great suspense for like the stuff that ends up coming down.
Yeah, because there are scenes where he's going down and everything's fine. But
Right.
You're like expecting it. And then
Yeah.
when you don't expect it, it's like, oh shit.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just a bunch of weird shit starts happening around the hotel. Like they start seeing like these fucking like dead women, like
Yeah,
dead
the
old
old
women.
Because
yeah.
there's this like special room 237.
Yeah,
Which is like supposedly haunted and you know,
right. And
it's a good mix of like supernatural and like
just like a
real.
like thriller.
Well, not even like supernatural with like the ghosts and stuff, but also with the father going absolutely mental. So it's like
Yeah.
also a real threat
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
is present.
Yeah. And then they end up just like fucking the Wendy and the son just like end up running from Jack Nicholson because he goes fucking absolutely apeshit with a fire axe.
Yeah, he just loses it.
Yeah, and then they end up escaping, even though it's like this tundra of like this winter.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a great movie. It's just like it's
Especially
absolutely.
if you haven't seen it, like everybody's seen it.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say at this point. I mean, that's just one of those movies that's just like super iconic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
All right, my number 5 is Misery, the Dirty Birdie.
Kathy Bates.
Yes. This is like I do really like this movie. So basically like this writer crashes and like this woman saves him and like gets him out of like the snow and
Right.
takes him to her place and like gets him fixed up. But like and she seems fine at first. It's Kathy Bates' character. And then the more you learn, you're like, oh, well, she's like his biggest fan type
Yeah.
thing, and like she's doing like some weird stuff. He's starting to like be like obviously in his he's injured, so he can't do anything really about it.
Yeah.
And she's like acting all weird, like very bipolar, and like coming in the middle of the night and being like, "I love you," and like shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kathy Bates is amazing in that movie.
She also freaks out whenever he does stuff like in the book that he's making.
Yeah,
that
so
goes
he's
against
like
what she
he's
likes.
writing. Yeah, he's writing another book, and like she's like reading it, and like when she sees that like the book character like dies, she like freaks out. But I just really like the movie because it's like he's isolated,
right?
It's like there's off the wall fucking characters, just like it's like the crazy fan type.
Yeah, I was about to
thing.
say, I think it's great because every celebrity can relate.
Yeah,
because it's just like that one crazy fan that just doesn't know enough's enough, or they're just fucking way too obsessive, and it's just like a perfect encapsulation of that.
And so you see him like he starts like not taking the pills she's giving him, and,
right?
Like, he starts like working out and stuff, and then like one of the best scenes from that is when she's like out, and like he's out in the fucking in her house like looking for shit.
Yeah,
and then like I think this was after she broke his legs.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
Yeah, that's classic where she breaks his ankles
in the
middle of the night.
What does she do? She like it's the thing with the wood. It's like you jam.
She put wood between his legs and then
Yeah.
broke his ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was because like something was like not in the right place, so she knew he was out.
Mm-hmm.
So she just like broke his fucking shit.
Yeah,
again
so he
and made
couldn't
sure
move.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of suspense with like she's out and like he's out,
Right.
and she's coming back, and he needs to like get the fuck back in
Yeah.
his thing, his bed, and like make sure everything's back in order.
Right.
Really good, like very suspenseful.
Oh yeah.
Like just
You just never
absolute
know
crazy.
like how she's gonna act either.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching it for the first time, you're just like unsure of like is she's gonna be happy, if she's gonna be angry.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's
You
very
never fucking know.
bipolar. Yeah. And she ends up killing people, and it's just absolute crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's my number 5.
Indeed. All right, so my number 4. Get ready. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh no, that's a shot.
It is
Interesting.
very unfortunate.
Should we take it now, or do you want to explain, or what are we doing?
I guess I can explain first if you want me to. So, I mean, you said a decent amount of it when we were initially talking about it, when you said it, but I mean, this is just a classic again, just like for the time that it came out and the effect that it rippled from that point forward in terms of like that genre of, oh, this is a real life thing that happened.
Yeah, I didn't even touch on
Because that was a big appeal at the time, was that it was like, oh, it was a real thing.
Yeah, well, the beginning of the movie is like,
Yeah, it's real. It has
says
real
it's like,
footage.
this is recapping or capturing of the events that happened to this.
Yeah, and obviously there is some fiction to the movie.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's not exactly verbatim what happened. It's based off of the Ted Gein.
Ed Gein.
Or
I was
Ed Gein,
looking at
yes.
yeah, it's based off the Ed Gein.
Ed
serial
Gein,
killer.
yeah, because he used to.
He would have like tokens. And,
Yeah,
like,
he would go to
cut off
graves
ears
and rob like graves and take like different pieces of like skin and stuff. Like it was very strange.
And he like lived out on on a house on the hill,
Right,
like,
and-
with his mother
in like Texas, like the fucking heat of Texas.
yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just such, again, like the shots are just so well done. Again, for the time that it came out, it was just like something to be really like proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And the characters, I mean, the characters aren't like amazing. I mean, I think the
Yeah.
final girl is pretty decent. I think obviously Franklin serves his purpose as being like the annoying character.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not
It's not meant to focus on the
which I think is
characters.
good
Right.
because if the characters are not great and the movie still like impresses,
Right.
then like
No,
that
exactly. I
more so
agree.
shows.
That's true. But yeah, there's just so many. I mean, like that's just another movie where like there's just so many iconic scenes about it, like the dinner scene, like we talked about already. But yeah, that's just definitely another classic had to include. But we'll take this fucking shit. We're definitely gonna have to take a decent amount here because I know we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
have.
I mean, we're the next one. Fuck. All right, we're taking a shot. Okay. Whew. Well,
Fun.
let's pour us up again.
So what's your number 4?
So Sean's pouring up another shot because my number 4 is The Shining. Sean's like, you fucker.
I knew that like when it came to top 5, we were gonna have very similar answers.
That's why I want to do top 10 because like then we can get a little more variety.
Yeah.
Into it.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So what I like about The Shining is it's. Do you need help? Okay. It's basically like the isolationism, kind of same themes that I enjoy with like Alien and that kind of stuff, but out in the middle of fucking nowhere. The other thing too is you're in this huge hotel, which while it seems like that would be fun, think about how creepy it is. Think about how creepy it is to be in a giant hotel and it to be like absolutely empty and just like quiet.
Yeah, no,
I just like
I would not want
so
that.
much room.
Yeah, no, I'll pass.
And like the other thing too is it's a very much so a movie that went against the horror tropes, like Room 237. That's like the spooky room, but it looks inviting.
Yeah.
Lights are on in it,
right?
You know, it looks fine. And whereas like in other movies, you know, the spooky room is dark. It's,
yeah,
you know,
no, true,
that kind of thing.
True.
Yeah, I mean, Danny's character is interesting. I mean, he's like kind of the link to like the supernatural side.
Yeah.
And then like you see Jack, or yeah, you don't really see Jack getting like seeing too much supernatural. Well, I guess with the old woman in the tub.
And hey, the fucking bar.
Yeah, that's true.
The entire fucking bar. I completely forgot about that. That's another like great shot scene, just because of like, it's just. I guess you can explain it because I'll let you do it.
Well, yeah. So I mean, he just goes in the bar and he's like, they don't really touch in the movie too much, but like he hurt Danny in the book, like from drinking.
Yeah, they talked about it a little bit in the movie.
He's like stops drinking,
Yeah,
and then there's like they're like, oh, there's no alcohol at all in the hotel to like tempt him,
right?
But then he's going to this bar, and like this bartender is like giving him alcohol and stuff, and
right,
like, and the room is full,
yeah,
and like he's just absolutely losing. I'm glad you brought that up because the bartender,
yeah,
super creepy, and I think the bartender was the one who did the same thing as well before, where he killed his family.
No, that was the waiter.
Oh, the waiter.
So remember, he's like, so the bartender's just like serving him drinks, talking to him. He's like, he's always like, oh, you always have credit with us, like whatever the fuck his name is. And he bumps Jack bumps into a waiter, and then he's like wiping him off, and he's like, oh, were you the same dude that killed your? Because he talks about like killing his wife and his daughter.
Yeah, and that was where he was like. Your family is acting up, aren't they?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And that, I loved like that whole thing. And you're like, oh shit. Like he's really going to be fucking going off the wall. I mean, just so many great acted scenes with like Jack and like,
oh yeah, the
torture that they put Shelley Duvall through. Like if you read about that, like, absolutely insane.
And he treats her like absolute shit in the movie.
Like, I mean filming that like fucked her for life.
Honestly. Oh yeah, honestly.
But and you can definitely see it in her reactions. Like she's
like genuinely
terror.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I don't know if this is true, but this was definitely one of the myths where like she didn't know that he was gonna be coming through the door.
Oh really?
Yeah. So like she had no idea, like the iconic scene of him like axing
with
through the door, and she says to him, like, Jack, or like, I don't know, she says something. I mean, they're both named fucking Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I remember seeing somewhere where like she says Jack, like meaning Jack Nicholson, like Jack, stop.
Yeah.
Like during that scene, but like he's like, you know,
he's still in character. Yeah.
But like she didn't know like that was gonna happen. I don't know if that's fully true, but like that.
I feel like Jack Nicholson could definitely be a person that's like a method actor where he like gets very into his roles.
Oh,
and he's just like, once
it's
on, it's
you've
just
seen the
on.
video of him before filming that. And he's like,
yeah.
And she's like walking by him, and he's just like absolutely like getting hyped up. And she's like, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean,
she's like, what's about to happen?
That, I think there are like some documentaries on like the filming of that, but that's definitely something where I would want to check out.
We should definitely touch on the ending as well, because I didn't say the ending.
Yeah, I mean, he gets...
No,
they
but
run him out.
the mind fuck at the very, very end.
Oh yeah. So after Jack dies, they show him like in a painting at the hotel.
And the date on it is like
Yeah, it's like back in the day.
right.
But I took it as kind of like, oh, the hotel's just kind of like absorbed him, like, oh, the hotel's like another one. We got another one,
Yeah, that's
that
true.
type of thing.
Yeah,
But yes, it's quite good.
indeed.
So now we take another shot because we're fucking pieces of shit. Tastes good.
Tastes like summer.
That's true. The summertime drink is Jim Beam whiskey.
All right, so my number 3,
Yeah.
The Thing.
I wonder if I have that on my list.
Yeah, I was about to say. No idea. So, as you kind of touched on earlier with your Apocalypse trilogy, so John Carpenter, The Thing, great. John Carpenter's The Thing. I can't even talk
We're already
now.
getting like fucking loose from this whiskey.
So loose.
Loose.
But yeah, John Carpenter's The Thing. What was it, 1970 you said? Or
No, it
1973?
was 80s. It was 80s.
Oh, okay. Fucking great movie.
Mhm.
Definitely the best out of any of the the one that came
82.
out in the fucking 82.
Yeah.
I
I mean, yeah, there's 3. There was one from 56, The Thing from the Outer World, which
Yeah.
is what inspired him
right to
for
make
the new
yeah.
one. And then they made a prequel one in 2013, which I don't mind
Yeah,
because it is a
has,
prequel. Mary
whatchamacallit, yeah.
Elizabeth, yeah, she's
Yeah.
quite attractive.
But yeah, so Kurt Russell is the main character in
Legend.
in John Carpenter's The Thing, and he's great. What's his name?
I should know this.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm really slacking right now.
It's like McReady. I think it's McReady.
McReady, is it?
Yeah, McReady.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, so like he's there. It's basically it takes place on this.
They're
this
in
base,
Antarctica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this base in Antarctica, and this weird. Basically, to describe the movie in general, this weird science, like alien fucking
Which
thing.
shows an alien spaceship crash in the beginning.
Yeah. You're right. You're
And
right.
then- yeah.
And then from there it progresses to where it shows all these characters that are like getting ready to go figure out where this ship crashed. And
Well, not even that. It was like the group, McReady's group, is like they see this group like shooting at this dog.
Oh
in the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah. You're right.
And then
What the
they
fuck am I
go
talking
they
about?
go and they look at their base camp, and their base camp's like fucked.
Right, which is where the prequel, the 2013, was like.
Yeah.
That's where all that shit happened.
Their camp is like fucked, like shit's blowing up, all of them are dead, and they see like this spot where like they found something thawed in the ice.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking of the 2013 one. That's why. I don't know why for some reason.
Nah.
But yeah, so then they take this unknown thing back to their camp.
Well, no, you're still thinking of
I'm
the
still thinking of-
2013. Are you sure you didn't mean to put the
No,
2013?
I didn't mean to put the. No, I didn't.
Yeah, no. So they don't. Well, they bring the dog back
Yeah, they bring the dog back. That was
Yeah.
like the lone survivor of the fucking thing.
of the group.
Yeah, because that's the dog they were shooting at in the helicopter.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely thinking of the. No,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know why I was thinking of the other one though. To be honest with you.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
And then fucking. See, now I'm like sidetracked.
Good.
But yeah, so then the dog goes back and they put the dog with the other dogs that they have in their own camp. And then in the middle of the night, it just starts absolutely going apeshit. And this is another
a great
thing where, huh?
I said that was a great scene.
Yeah, this is another thing where like the special effects for the time that the movie was made were like super
Yeah,
well
all
done.
practical.
Yeah.
It holds up so well today because it was practical.
Exactly. It holds up better than half the CGI shit that comes out.
Yeah.
And it's just this dog just absolutely like evolving into this like just this mush of tentacles.
Mhm.
And
It's very like. Do you know like what Lovecraftian is?
yeah, I think so.
Lovecraftian is like this guy, this writer, H.P. Lovecraft, and he wrote
Yeah.
a lot of like short stories and stuff on like the fear of like the unknown and like not knowing what you're looking at, and like where it's undescribable, but like that's what makes it so terrifying.
Right.
And like The Thing does take a lot of like, it is a Lovecraftian movie where you have no idea like what it is. Like,
yeah.
it's not your typical alien looking thing. It's just
Right.
absolutely like mental.
Yeah, it's just a fucking
and that's
crazy
like,
thing.
with that dog scene where like all these fucking like
Yeah, things are just
strings
shooting out, yeah.
and like it's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And then they end up just torching it with a fucking flamethrower.
Yeah, I figure we don't have to like go synopsize the whole movie. Just
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
we're
yeah.
running long. Like we're already an hour in,
Oh, okay, my
so
bad.
I figure we can just say like
yeah,
what we enjoy,
right,
about
yeah,
the movie and like what we
yeah. No, fair enough. But yeah, I think the main thing that I enjoy about it is just
Well,
the
you can
fact
say
of
standout scenes too. Yeah,
yeah. No. I was just gonna
Yeah.
say like the fact of the mystery of who basically like who is
it's all paranoia.
yeah, a
you
lot
don't
of
know,
it.
because the alien is like going inside people and you don't know who
Right.
is who.
Right, and so like the whole movie, you're guessing, trying to figure out who is,
The
the one that
Yeah.
has the alien, and it's cool because they do have scenes where it's like they're trying to figure it out in a smart way. The characters are intelligent. They're doing like blood
that
tests
blood
where like
scene's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, exactly, and they're trying to figure out like based off of how their blood
reacts to like this.
Yeah, it's like some kind of
copper
like
or
metal,
something,
yeah, and like if it reacts a certain way, then they're like a thing,
Mhm.
and then. I think one character just gets shot in the fucking head because he just like tries to like revolt or something. Like he like gets ready to
Maybe,
stab
yeah.
like
or like because some of them are like freaking out because potentially they themselves don't even know if they're it.
yeah, exactly. Like the whole thing is just all paranoia.
Yeah, like even if you are like, and you see like there is a part where like the blood bags are gone.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, who has the keys for the blood bags? Like only you two had the fucking keys.
Right.
And like people are just like, it's just going.
I also
mental.
love Wilford Brimley's character, the diabetes,
Yeah.
where he's just like in the fucking he's just put away from everyone else.
Yeah.
Because
And
he smashed the what was it? He smashed the they're like blood.
It was
or
over the
whatever.
blood bag.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So
And-
they put him away.
And there's just a scene where like they're just checking on him, and there's just a noose in the background. And he's just like, "I want to come back."
Bro, Josh and I like love talking about that scene because we're like, it's like it shows a
It's just like
noose,
me.
and he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm fine." And there's just a noose just hanging. I
Yeah,
fucking
it's so
love that.
funny. But he's like, "I'd like to come back now."
Yeah, I'd like to come back now.
Yeah. So funny, bro.
Great.
But yeah, it's just another great movie. Just great mystery the entire time. Great characters. Just a really solid movie for sure.
All right, so my number 3, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978.
Yes, I haven't.
You
Gonna
haven't
be
seen
honest,
this?
haven't seen it, but
oh my god! Especially if you like The Thing.
yeah,
I mean, this is absolutely right up the fucking alley. I won't spoil anything because you'll probably love this movie if
Yeah.
you like The Thing.
yeah,
The cast is amazing. Donald Sutherland, Leonard. It's a fucking
like
whiskey.
Leonard.
Leonard Nimoy,
Oh,
the Spock,
yeah.
and Jeff Goldblum is in it.
Interesting.
And yeah, so basically,
I've definitely heard of it.
yeah,
of
I mean, there's
course.
been countless remakes of this.
Yeah, I was about to
fucking
say. Yeah,
shit. But the 78 one's the best.
right.
And so basically, it's kind of the same premise where like these aliens are like taking over and like overtaking humans, and
Right,
they're, like
yeah, like
acting
taking-
like
yeah.
humans now. And so like a bunch of spouses and stuff are like, hey, my husband's acting really weird, and like that is kind of how it starts out.
Right.
And like what the aliens do is they snatch your body, right?
Right.
So your real body is still there, but then they now like come out of like a plant, and they now have like a duplicate of you, and then they just fucking go about.
Right. They just act like they're.
It's very.
normal,
There's a
yeah.
lot of plants in it, which is like the plants are like the aliens, which
It's
is
a very
kinda cool.
eco-friendly movie.
Yeah, and like again, the paranoia
Yeah.
is what fucking makes it because you just know
Because it's such a great theme for a movie as well. It's just like that
Yeah.
idea of like you never know really who is like the actual person.
you,
or
you don't
not,
know who to trust. And, yeah, no, it is definitely a good theme with horror that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't know what's like who's going on. You don't know who to trust. I mean, and the other thing too is like if you know you're like about to get caught,
Yeah.
like you don't want to go to sleep
right.
because like when you go to sleep, like that's when you get like snatched basically, and you like won't wake up.
Oh.
And so like there's some great scenes with that.
Oh,
and like I
God.
won't spoil,
Yeah.
but like it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
know
have
if you
to
have
check it
Amazon
out.
Prime, but
I mean, I can always just rip it off the internet.
you can do that too.
Exactly.
You just out yourself. But yeah.
We'll cut that.
No, I won't.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, the ending scene is absolutely iconic. I won't say what it is, but if you've seen the movie, you know the ending is absolutely iconic.
I'll have to check it out.
And yeah, I mean, very similar to The Thing, which is why I like it so much. But
right.
In my eyes, it's a perfect, from The Shining down to number one, I think are perfect movies.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, really well acted too. And yeah,
Epic.
so you're number 2.
Yeah, so my number 2 is The Conjuring. So I actually didn't see this movie until like kind of recently, just because again,
Did you see 2 before 1?
No, I saw the first one.
And then have you seen 2?
No, I haven't seen 2 yet. Why is 2 good?
Well, no, just in my opinion, I think 2 is better than 1.
Really?
Which I think might be a hot take, but I do like 2 a lot better than 1.
I'll have to check out 2. I haven't seen it actually.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean the first one is just like, again, because like obviously the whole point of the movie is just like it's a lot of demons. It's a lot of the whole the fear of I guess paranormal activity.
Well, yeah, it follows these Ed and Lorraine Warren, which are like ghost
Yeah.
hunters.
And so it follows them like going to different like events, and then they end up going to this house where this family is getting harassed by these fucking like spirits, and like the shit that happens like in the movie is just like crazy, because like again it's another movie that's kind of surreal, where it's like it seems more realistic that it could happen potentially.
To me, The Conjuring is like a very good haunted house movie.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best way to put it.
Clapping,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's true. That's a great scene. The clapping.
clapping's amazing.
So the clapping, for those of you that don't know, is this game that they play in the movie. And so basically it's like they play hide and seek, and they ask for 3 different claps, and then based off those 3 different claps, and I think they're blindfolded as well.
Oh yeah, they are. I forgot.
And so they do 3 different claps.
That's kind of fucked. You could just like fall down the steps.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she runs into shit like during when she's playing it. But there's like a couple really great scenes where they have that in action, and there's one in particular in the basement where the mom gets trapped down there, and
Because like you start to realize, oh, the daughter's not the one clapping.
yeah,
Which is like just absolutely great, because there's really no way of her knowing that it's an entity or her daughter.
right, exactly.
So like usually with horror movies, oh, you don't go down there, you know, that
Yeah.
shit. But like, how would she know?
Yeah, no, exactly. And like there's like she's trapped in this basement, and she has like a match, and she just lights it, and then you just see this hand just come out from behind her and just clap. And it's just like the lights go out, and she's fucking freaking out.
Yeah, because she was like, she took the blindfold off. She was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, because the claps like lead her down to the basement.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just another like great movie, and like the mother ends up getting possessed by like the spirits in the house, and just like the transformation that she goes through is just fucking insane. And you see just like how like messed up and how like crazy shit was back in that house before they were there. There's all this stuff with like people that were like hanging themselves, killing like their kids in the house. It's just a really solid movie. I feel like you said, I think it's just a really good haunted house movie.
Do you remember how like crazy that movie was hyped when that came out? Because that was 2013,
Yeah.
and people
I
were
do.
like absolutely losing their shit when like that came out in theaters.
Yeah,
That was like one of the first like horror movies, I guess, before like the new one,
right.
where like people were actually like losing their shit.
Yeah.
Being like, oh my god, you got to go see this.
Yeah, it's
horror
like it's
movie.
fucking crazy.
For me, I think personally, like it is in my honorable mentions. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I felt like when the mom got possessed, it kind of went down a peg.
Yeah.
Actually, for me. But like the other thing too is my expectations going into it might have been super high just because of all the hype.
Yeah.
But I do
that's
really
true.
enjoy it. And the other thing too, the wardrobe scene
Yes.
where like the things like the camera is shot to not show the top of the wardrobe.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like it pans up and you see this fucking cretin just on top of the wardrobe.
Yeah, yeah.
It just like jumps down.
Yeah, no.
That
that's
was
true.
great. But yes.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say.
So my number 2, Hereditary.
Interesting.
A24 movie. This is basically like how I like to describe it as like Rosemary's Baby, kind of like Tension, but on crack.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of fucking emotion in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go full spoiler. I mean, I know you've seen it.
Yeah.
But like so much, like it starts off this Toni Collette's character. She is absolutely amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
She deserves
No,
an award for
100%.
this. I mean, so her mom dies. And so from there, she like goes to support groups, all that. And like she starts like, she's grieving basically.
Yeah.
And then her fucking daughter dies.
Yeah.
She gets her head chopped off.
Right. Yeah.
And she's grieving even more. And the son is fucked up because the son is the one who was driving.
Yeah.
And like he's absolutely fucked. And like the dynamic between the son and the mother just keeps the tension is higher and higher and higher, bitter. I love the scene where it's like it's a dream, but like they're going back and forth in the middle of the night, and then like they start getting like just when they're like cutting back and forth, they just get covered in like gasoline for some reason.
Yeah.
And then just like, and she just like got a match, and he's like, why don't you love me, or like some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just like absolutely crazy. And from there you think it's like, okay, it's kind of weird, a little supernatural, and then it goes full like supernatural.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, and she meets up with this girl, which is where I think Rosemary's Baby like kind of comes in.
Yeah, the
where
woman
she meets up with
the
the woman, and like it kind of reminds me of the woman with the shakes in Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
But she comes in and she's like, oh, I had someone who I, lost. And
She's trying to be a shoulder to lean on, but in reality, she's just trying to get closer.
Yeah, and I do this thing where I can reach out to them and talk to them and all this stuff, and she shows Toni Collette's character. And so she goes back home and starts doing it with their family. But then, like, all this crazy shit starts happening. She starts speaking.
The son
like,
starts freaking out, too.
The son starts freaking out. She's speaking in a different voice.
Yeah.
And, like, just absolute bonkers. And, like, from there, it absolutely ramps up at the end. And the standout scene to me in it, there's a lot. Like, for one, the dinner scene where they're, like, going back and forth.
Yeah, yelling at each other about
mother and son.
Yeah.
That's a great scene. But the scariest scene is when the mother pretty much gets full on possessed.
Yeah.
And she's up and the son wakes up in the middle of the night, and she's in the fucking corner of his room.
Yeah.
Just like, it's like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
just
on the ceiling. Yeah.
And the creepiest thing to me was, because you're like, oh, fuck. And the creepiest thing to me was like, she was moving absolutely. I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
She's moving absolutely silently into the air.
Yeah.
Like through the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Because you see her like move out of the room, and it's just fucking silent. So creepy. And from there, I mean, it just goes absolutely nuts. She like chops her head off. You start seeing people, and you're like, oh shit. The other thing too, which is crazy, like this is one of those movies where if you watch it multiple times, you'll pick up on things.
Yeah, you'll definitely see a lot of things.
So there's like outside shots of like the house throughout, but like, and you'll miss this when the first time you watch it. On the outside shot at the end, when like shit's about to go down, you see all these people in the woods surrounding the house.
Yeah.
Like all the naked people, because like there are like naked people in the house at the end.
Right.
And the other thing too,
yeah.
That was pretty, like, that's what, like, the daughter did, which is pretty iconic, I guess you could say, for the movie. But, and then it basically just goes, like, where the son is basically, like, fully possessed by this guy, Pyman, which is, like, a...
Pagan?
Pagan?
Pagan.
I think it's Pyman.
I believe it's Pagan.
I think you're wrong. Bet a shot on it?
No.
It's Pyman. Dumbass. Paimon. King Paimon. A demonic force. Paimon. You said pagan.
Yeah, no, I guess I was thinking like along the same lines is what I was saying.
Fair enough. So then he pretty much gets possessed by this demonic force at the end, which you then find out that the cult was fully in the grieving community, which is another thing you see, like when you watch it again.
Yeah.
The grieving community that the mother was going to was it was just all the cult.
Right.
And so the kid gets possessed by this demonic force, and like you find out that the reason why the daughter died was because she was possessed by it, but her body, like, she's like challenged in the movie.
Right.
But her body like wasn't right, and they had to go through his, and like the whole thing is like the hereditary of it is like their grandmother was the one who started this shit.
Yeah.
And it gets passed down to them when she dies. It's just so crazy. To me, it's like Rosemary's Baby, but with like a better ending.
Yeah.
To me. And the only downside there is to it, I think, is like producers probably did come in at the end and like have them fully explain like what happens, because there is like the scene in the end where they're in the treehouse. Also, the mother like floating up the treehouse is fucking great.
Yeah.
Too, but like at the end when he's like they're explaining to him like, oh, this is Pyman, hail Pyman, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a little overkill. I think they could have ended it a little more.
Yeah, no,
up in the air.
That's
but
that's fair.
That's the only like downside I really see to that movie. But yeah, classic Ari Aster, a beast. Yeah,
epic.
You're number one.
Get ready. Hereditary.
Oh, intriguing.
Yeah. So you want to pour one?
Yeah.
Dumbass. So this one I really didn't watch until pretty recently, because
told you.
Someone recommended me, and so I watched it.
I didn't think you were gonna have it on your list, honestly.
Yeah, well, honestly, it was just one of those things, like you were just saying. Like I really appreciate stuff where like you can go back through and watch it and get different levels of appreciation the more you watch it. And that's one of those movies where not only does it just absolutely like fuck with your mind, but like there's a lot of scenes too. Like I was gonna say, but I was gonna wait until it was my turn. Was when he's in school, because when he's in school, he's actually learning about that same person, that Payman.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
like
there's
in the class.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And there's scenes where they're like talking about, I forget exactly what they're talking about, but it's like whatever they're talking about is relating to exactly what's going on.
Mm.
And there's like a scene where he's in the classroom and he gets I forget exactly what happens. But he's like in the class.
Well, you see the it's like a lens flare.
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
they keep seeing. It's like
right, yeah, and
like
sees
he
that,
keeps seeing that.
Yeah,
and like it, like he looks into the mirror and he sees like himself like
smiling, and then he freaks the fuck out.
Yeah,
yeah. That again, that movie's just so iconic, and just the scene, like again, obviously spoilers, as if we didn't already say that, but. The scene where like he ends up like killing like his sister is just so. That's just another
heavy.
Scene again that is just not only heavy, visceral, again using that word. It's just like holy shit, because it happens and then it's just I'm pretty sure it just focuses on his face, and it's just like pure
because
horror.
he never looks back.
Yeah, he's looking straight ahead.
He's like in shock that this happened.
Yeah.
So he literally just drives home. Her body's in the back of the fucking car.
Yeah.
He drives home, and it's so like haunting.
My God, yeah.
How he like drives back, and he's just driving back slow, and he's pulling up. And then he just gets out of the car.
Yeah.
I'm getting like chills
I know.
just thinking about it, dude.
And then he gets in bed.
He gets in bed, and then he wakes up to the sound of his mother just absolutely screaming because she finds like her daughter's just dead body in the fucking car.
And then I don't even want to say the head.
Oh yeah, the head's fucked. They like cut to the head on the side of as she's like absolutely like losing her mind screaming.
Yeah.
They like cut to the head and like show.
And it's fucked too, because they actually, I feel like because remember later in the movie when he has his head covered in like all those bugs and shit? That's like in the dream sequence, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like maybe a nod to that, maybe like her fucking head with all the bugs on it and shit.
I also love that scene where like he wakes up and she's like right over top.
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
She's like, "Hey, get up! I got something cool to show you."
Yeah,
that was like when like that was just very uncomfortable. And you're like, what
absolutely.
The fuck? And the other thing too is like it's Ari Aster does a good job, like he did with Midsummer, where he portrays like pretty real experiences, I guess.
Right.
Like, with the kid like smoking weed, and then he just like starts like freaking out,
right?
Because like all this fucking like just
heavy
pressure
shit,
and like, like that, just crazy.
So, yeah, that movie.
And, like, you see, he's like out at eating lunch, and you see the cult members and they're like waving at him and stuff.
It's just like it's such a heavy movie, and it's just like, especially like the ending, like just absolutely like fucks with your head, and you're just like, oh my god, like what the fuck? Like this has been planned from the beginning.
I fully believe that's like a shining level movie of our generation.
Yeah, no,
like,
I would agree. Honestly, yeah, like
and
it
people,
is a very...
people are like so funny. I remember seeing shit where people were like mad in theaters at like the end and stuff. It's like those kind of movies where it's like it's above people's like heads.
Yeah,
where like people expect like cheap jump scares,
right?
And, like, shit
yeah,
like
exactly.
That. Like it's like
we
people
don't
are just
have
like
enough of that shit already.
Yeah, people are just so dumb. It's like they can't appreciate something new and unique, and it takes from other movies like Rosemary's Baby and that kind of stuff. But
right.
like, it makes it something new and something like absolutely an experience you don't fucking forget.
Right, exactly. Sure. No, definitely. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that.
All right. Cheers. Third shot, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what's my number one.
Thing. Piece of shit. I know it was.
The Thing.
Yeah, I know it was.
The Thing. Carpenter's best movie, by far.
Yeah.
I mean...
I'd agree with that. Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
I'll pour some of that into mine.
Okay. We're already at 1:20, by the way. An hour and 20 in. Jesus.
This isn't working.
I don't know if I have any paper towels.
It's very interesting that you...
I'll just take it that big.
Okay.
Fuck it. Just don't get on my laptop.
I'm not going to get it on your laptop. I got it on your table, just not your laptop.
I fucking... I'm losing my train of thought. The soundtrack in The Thing is absolutely insane. The paranoia we hit on.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I would say.
Kurt Russell's amazing in it. It's just the paranoia of not knowing who the alien is, the blood scene that we talked about, the ending, which you didn't even hit on. But I love how the ending is open-ended and you don't know what the fuck, because it's just Kurt Russell's character and
what's his name? I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, the black guy, the Knowles.
Knowles, yeah.
It's them, and they're like, and I love like the theories of like the fact that like people think that like McReady gave Knowles gasoline at the end,
right?
And like for the alcohol,
I've heard that,
and once he drank the gasoline and was like fine. If it was gasoline, we don't know. But then, like, McReady kind of laughs and, like, laughs at, like, he's the alien, presumably.
Right.
But, like, there's so many, like, good theories with it. It's just the ending, perfect ending to the movie. And Carpenter does a good job with his endings as well, like with Halloween, where,
it's very
Michael
open-ended.
is very supernatural and he's just kind of gone.
Yeah.
And,
another thing that we didn't touch on that I don't know if you were going to say it or not, but the surgery scene.
Yeah,
that was another great practical effect usage.
Oh yeah.
So like this guy is like
they're doing surgery on the alien's dead body,
right? And he has paddles, and he's like trying to like use the paddles. And as soon as he puts his hands down to use the paddles on it,
like opens
this
up.
mouth just fucking erupts from this man's chest,
just cuts
and
off
just cuts his fucking arms off, both of his arms off, and it just turns into like this fucking creature.
Yeah.
It's just so insane. Again, like at the time, like shit looked so like crazy. I mean,
that was one of those movies where I saw like pretty early on, and I knew like immediately I was like, wow, like that is a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah, no, definitely, it's absolute
like,
classic.
Goddamn. I mean, I don't want to go on too much longer, but yeah, like that. It's. I mean, we hit on it with you as well.
Yeah,
it's just fucking great.
No, definitely.
Did you pour a big one for yourself too, or you only leave me out?
No, mine's the same as you.
All right. Fuck.
I didn't want to spill anymore. Also.
How many shots total? 4.
Yeah.
We had 4 in common. I thought we'd have. That's pretty good. I think 4. I didn't think we'd have any more than that.
I'm glad it wasn't more than
that. I'm gonna run through my honorable mentions here.
Okay.
Rear Window. The only reason it wasn't on it because it's not full on horror, but like the fact that like a character being absolutely immobile and like not being able to do anything during any of the scenes.
Yeah.
And like the part where like his wife is like in the other dude's apartment is just absolutely amazing. I mean, Hitchcock.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Psycho.
Of course.
Halloween. Didn't make the list, but still, I still do really like that movie. Insidious, The Conjuring /2. I know I was saying I'd potentially like 2 more. The Witch, The Descent. Have you seen The Descent?
Yeah, that was actually on my my sleeper hits.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that then.
Yeah.
Then I had The Evil Dead on my honorable mentions.
Okay. So I only had 5 on my honorable mentions, but I had a couple sleepers as well. So Alien, of course, Halloween as well, the original. Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like it's pretty new age, but you know, it's good class or a good like kind of like what the hell's going on kind of a movie.
Yeah.
Psycho, original Psycho, of course, and Cabin in the Woods because it's kind of like a good mix between horror and comedy.
Good list. I do like Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yes,
That's like
that is
probably my
I do
favorite
like that
horror comedy.
Yeah, I do like that movie.
That's on Netflix now. If you haven't seen that, fucking go
definitely
watch that.
it. Yeah.
So we're gonna run through. I know we're pretty deep in this. We're like an hour and 30. I don't know.
We can just end it after we're done
and just watch no videos.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's the horror episode.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck it.
So my recommendations: Hell House LLC, which I don't think you've seen.
No, I don't think so.
That's on Prime Video. Man, that's like the best found footage movie I've seen.
Really?
It's got clowns in it.
Oh, fun.
It's like this group of people are like running like a spooky haunted house for Halloween.
Right.
And as they're setting it up, they have to set it up as the days leading up to Halloween. Like all this crazy shit starts to happen.
Oh, damn.
Great movie. We'll have to watch that sometime.
Yeah.
That could be a Mr. Fish watch.
True.
Starry Eyes, another one of my hits. Or not hits, recommendations.
Yeah.
It follows this girl in California who's like trying to get a hit in Hollywood. Like she's going and she's, trying out for auditioning and shit.
Right.
And like she starts to like very cult like where she starts to get taken over, possessed kind of type thing. But
right.
That I did enjoy that. Event Horizon, which is another pretty underrated sci-fi horror movie where it's got the dude from Jurassic Park in it, the OG.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's in it, and there's like crazy shit around that movie where like the ending was like so insane where like test screenings like force them to basically like cut out like a lot of it, and like
that's wild.
There's a version of the movie like out there where it's like absolutely insane.
Jesus.
Which like apparently probably won't ever come to the light of day, but like the original ending is still pretty crazy, but it's a good like spaceship kind of Lovecraftian horror movie.
No, for sure.
You can give a few of yours.
Yeah, so I think I said the one. Yeah, Descent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just very like it's weird because like orcs from like Lord of the Rings in the movie, but it's a really
good jump scares in that.
A good claustrophobia kind of movie.
Yeah.
Autopsy of Jane Doe. I was saying I just rewatched that the other day.
Yeah,
and
we first watched that, Mr. Fish's?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the first time you saw that?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
But yeah, just another like great like possession movie. Very, very weird.
It all takes place in the morgue too, which is like a super creepy.
And it's like in the basement of like this fucking building as well.
Yeah, the morgue.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I just yeah, you're right. And then my last one, not really a horror movie, but like Donnie Darko.
I actually haven't seen that.
That's a great movie.
Really?
That's a very. I feel like some of it could honestly be interpreted as horror, just because like the supernatural stuff is very fucking creepy. Like the stuff with like the rabbit figure in the movie. Like I don't want to spoil anything and just like leave it as empty as possible because that movie is just so weird that like
I know it's like an absolute classic. But I just
yeah,
haven't gotten around to seeing it yet.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Jake Gyllenhaal. He's great in it.
I didn't know he was in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a main dude. But
I'm sure he goes absolutely apeshit at some point.
Yeah, but it's a great movie. Definitely recommend you see it.
So I've got a few more. Clown used to be on Netflix, and that was like amazing. Honestly, I love Clown. So it's this movie. So this guy I actually have it because I liked it so much. He puts on like a clown suit for his kid's birthday party because the clown doesn't show up.
Yeah.
But he can't get the clown suit off.
Oh no.
And so he literally can't get it off, and he starts to become like a demonic clown that like needs to eat kids.
So kind of like the Goosebumps episode where the kid wears the mask that gets stuck to her face.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And she starts turning into like the monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that movie is so fucking good.
Really?
I love Clown. Check it out.
Okay.
The Descent you touched on.
Yeah.
Claustrophobia. These women go like hiking and they go in these caves.
Yeah.
And there's these creatures in there. Creatures are creepy.
Fucking absolutely fuck them up.
Yeah. There's some good jump scares in that.
Yeah.
Creep Show.
Yeah, Creepshow, yeah.
Creepshow is like a Stephen King, George Romero type thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an anthology. The crate one is absolutely classic.
Yeah.
With like the creature.
Epic creature.
And even before that too, the Father's Day one is good.
Yeah.
Every single one of the ones have like a good like creature design.
Yeah, I was about to say,
really
I feel like all of
creepy.
them are pretty unique, honestly. And
Yeah,
just
and
interesting.
like the one where the dude's like fucking buried.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Trick or Treat. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, that's the one with the little kid with the popsicle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another anthology.
Yeah, I was about to
which is
say.
pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Has like the comic book shit in it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are Creepshow and Trick or Treat are definitely good ones to watch like around Halloween, I feel like.
I would say another one to add in, Creep, which you
Yeah.
recommended.
You know,
Yeah.
I do like Creep a lot. I didn't know if it I feel like a lot of people have seen it by now. Maybe not.
Yeah, probably.
But Creep is like
found footage style.
bro, when I first saw that movie, that was like I remember I watched that movie like and it got to like 4 a.m.
Damn.
And I was like so creeped out from it. Cuz like it does a really good job of putting you in the main character's perspective of like, holy fuck, I'm
Like,
out in the middle of nowhere
Dealing with this insane person.
with this crazy fucker and I need to get out of here like now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he still keeps in contact and shit. And it's just like.
that's a great movie.
Yeah.
And then Dog Soldiers, which I don't think you've seen.
No, I don't think so.
Dog Soldiers here. Yeah. Dog Soldiers has the best werewolf design ever.
Yes, I think you told me to look that up.
I told you to look it up.
I definitely looked it up.
It's these fucking werewolves,
Yeah,
but they're all like humanoid and they've got long limbs.
Yeah, they look
and,
fucking
like,
freaky.
Yeah. It's like these Russian guys and they're just out in the middle of nowhere and these fucking werewolves just start like coming at them. I mean, it's a pretty basic concept, but like
Like the
How
gray,
creepy-
but on like the wolves are on
yeah,
crack.
how creepy the wolves are.
Yeah.
Because they're just fucking like walking up the house, just like, and they're all like long as shit. That crazy.
Long
I do
boy.
really like that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all my recommendations. I'm sure we'll have more in the coming weeks
Indeed.
for your October experience. We're at an hour and 33. You think it's good to wrap or?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, it's an hour and 33. Probably nobody's listening right now, so.
We've just been
We
ranting
could say
to ourselves
whatever
at
we
this
want.
point.
We could say whatever we want.
Fucking shit.
All right. So we've got a lot of videos, I guess, for next week.
Indeed.
I mean, let me see if there's one video we can watch.
Let me see.
Let's watch Aaron Carter. All right.
Carter?
Yeah, you know who Aaron Carter is? He was like the NSYNC guy.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like absolutely.
Over here. Just a little spill. So
Oh,
I just don't
man.
want to. I don't want the cord to go in it.
I want to make sure you can see.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just moving the cord a little bit.
All right. So Aaron Carter, he was in NSYNC, and I guess there's been a falling out recently with his brother Nick.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah, when he was on Nick 22. Yeah.
So this is him with his
Adam 22.
yeah, he shows off a beat that he's working on. All right.
You could have been on the Double XL cover if things had played out differently timeline wise.
I want to play you some tracks, man. I make music. You need to hear this shit. Period. End of story.
Yeah,
That's his
once
bodyguard.
we wrap
People are
it in,
like,
we'll
"Oh, the
bump it over, 'cause
bodyguard's
otherwise we're gonna get
trying his
canceled.
best not to
I'm
get
just-
fired."
I'm just gonna play you a little
Yeah,
something.
give me a little segment here.
Let
to
me
play
just
us
give
out.
you a little something.
Guys, get me the fuck out of here.
Adam 22, yeah. He's like, let me just go fuck Lena the Plug.
Does he really?
Yeah.
You know she's on Pornhub.
That bald fuck? Yeah, the one sitting across. Yeah, that's out on 22.
Sounds like a ringtone.
Yeah.
This is his beat.
He looked up,
Look at the bodyguard, dude.
what are those drums?
Caribbean vibes.
Well, watch, there it goes. Just watch how I change that. It's more like Crane. Crane is one of my I idolize him. Crane.
Who's Crane?
Krane.
Okay.
He's checking his phone.
Oh my god, it's so awkward.
I want to get on this track. I
You
need
wanna
to
get
come
on?
get in the studio.
Listen.
Yeah.
Look at the bodyguard's done, bro.
Ooh.
Apparently they like got into
Let's
like
play that shit out loud right
some
now.
kind
Why
of like
can't
a
you?
altercation
Just
or
because,
something.
like, with the way the speakers are set up and stuff right now.
So we can
it's
do
not
that.
gonna-
All right, so we can do it after.
But I think, yeah.
I want to play you this shit out loud. I want to hear it out loud.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll fucking have a little session.
Jesus.
Okay, 22.
So that was just...
That's fun.
There's so many good videos. Let's watch one more.
All right.
This is this woman at McDonald's trying to be funny.
Do you have the McClam sandwich? No. You don't? Do you have the McOyster? No. What about the McSquid burger? No. You don't have a McSquid burger?
Like what?
Alright. Do you have the McLobster? I saw that on TV.
First off, she's got a fucking like list where she's got her jokes on. So you know you're not funny when you do that.
You don't have the McLobster?
A McLobster?
It's McScrumptious. I saw it on TV. Okay. Really? Didn't I see the McLobster on a commercial? Oh god. I have my McPeriod. And like we're having like a McParty with McSeafood. You don't have any of that stuff? Okay. Just the filet of fish you have? Alright, I'll have that. Just one. One. Yeah. I can't believe you have
This is like the origins of Joker. They try to be funny.
bullshit, man. I need the McLobster. They don't have McLobster. They said they did. They don't. There's no McLobster in the commercial.
Trying to get people in to get a
No
laugh.
McLobster, everyone. There's no McLobster, so don't try and get it. Don't have it. Don't have McLobster. Yo. Oh! I've McFallen! I'm sorry. I've McFallen.
This is a classic clip, bro.
You've
What are you
seen
talking
this?
about? Yeah, I'm McFallen. Yeah,
I'll get up now.
this is an old ass video.
Yeah,
bro.
it is 2011. I haven't seen
This
it.
is on Vine. Yeah, because that was like a classic. Like I'm McFallen. I'm McFallen.
Sorry.
What has to be going through your head to like be
To
like,
try to
I'm
be
gonna
that
go
funny, yeah.
I'm gonna go to fucking McDonald's. and
You have
just
to be a
try
pretty
to
sad
do that.
individual. You're like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no
try
kidding.
for kicks. To be, I mean, she got pretty viral just because of the I'm McFallen.
Yeah, I mean, she's making an ass out of herself.
Yeah,
so
I
you
mean,
can
go
get viral
figure,
through
yeah.
that. But all right, let's end this shit.
All right.
My wife left me, or no, wife left me pod on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us. My wife left me podcast on YouTube. Kev Gordy on Twitter for me, and Vibranium with a Y on Twitch.
Yes, and an abusive Yeti on Twitch.
Put your mask back on.
Oh, right.
And we will be back next week.
Why don't you start right now and get the fuck out of here?
We'll be back next week with more spooks, scares, and vampires beware.
And I'm the devil.
Bye.
Bye.